Kites Sail High, a book about verbs by Ruth Heller. Same lady who wrote the book about the adjectives that we read earlier. And so now you'll learn about verbs. Stay, remain, taste, smell, appear, seem, turn, become, grow. There we go. A verb is really the most superb of any word you've ever heard. Verbs tell you something's being done. Roses bloom. And people run. Pelicans fly. Oh, they look beautiful. Kites sail high. And rabbits quickly multiply. Isn't that cool? A victorious verb is super superb. It tells you fireworks explode. Or horses thunder down the road. Of equal attraction are verbs of less action. Have is a verb. These kings have gold. Lots of gold. And so is has. She has a cold. Here are verbs we use to link. I am a cat. My nose is pink. My fur feels soft. I sound content. My lifestyle looks most opulent. Is, am, and are, and was, and were, and being, been, and be are linking verbs, and as you see, show no activity. Nor do these other verbs that link. Feel, sound, look. More of them are listed as you opened up this book. Remember the words I read at the beginning? So linking verbs link something at the beginning of the sentence to something at the end of the sentence. Is, am, and are, and was, and were, and being, been, and be are here again. This time you'll see they're called auxiliary. Along with do and does and did and has and have and had and shall and will and also should and might and may and can and would. They're all helping verbs, and they are able to form verb phrases, as in this fable. While the hare who should have won was napping in the noonday sun, the tortoise, with a steady pace, was inching by and won the race. So all the words that are in all capital letters, those are all verbs. Only a verb can change its tenses, and here are some of the consequences. Irregular verbs leave you aghast by the way they change from present to past. I write, I wrote, or I have written. I bite, I bit, or I have bitten. I sink, I sank, or I have sunk. I shrink, I shrank, I have shrunk. These are just a very few from a list of more than 52. Most regular verbs change easily by adding on an E and a D. I paint, I painted, I have painted. There are 3 moods to be expressed, and of course, it's the verb that does this the best. The imperative mood makes a request. Please take just one and leave the rest. Oh, that would be hard with that many choices, wouldn't it? So hard to pick just one. I would want to pick the one that has caramel in it. Kind of hard to choose if you don't have a map. Or it gives a command. March. This is a whole sentence in one single word. And of course, this can only be done by a verb. So if you want a sentence that is just one word, you have to use a verb. That's what it's trying to say. The indicative mood just states a fact. We act. The subjunctive mood expresses a wish or uses the words as though or if. If I were a fish, as though that could be, I'd swim in a beautiful tropical sea. Verbs have two voices, passive and active. Choose the one you find more attractive. This egg was laid by an egg named Sadie. A hen named Sadie laid this egg. Either way works. Each sentence requires one verb or more. She sells seashells at the seashore. Do you remember when we talked about that? Remember when they were doing lip flips in Super Kids? We can also call them tongue twisters. And sells is the verb in that sentence. My pages are sticking together. There we go. And here is a sentence with verbs galore. Lizards leap and pile in a heap and slither and climb and splash and creep and swim and cavort and fall asleep. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, 9 verbs in the same sentence. Now, as an important afterthought about words that are verbs and words that are not, is a verb, not is not. Put them together, you have is not. Then, with a quick converging action, is not becomes isn't. That's called a contraction. Remember, we've talked about that before. That let and us, you put it together and it's let's. That's a contraction also. Is not becomes isn't. Use every restraint and never, no, never, please, never say ain't. That is not proper English. And that is the end. And so the book about verbs and also the book about adjectives will help you when you're writing your Super Kid story.